Hi guys, and welcome to another Whisky Geek review with me, Ben. And look what I've got. It's another White & Mackay, heavily coloured, chill filtered, 40%, sad tale of a whiskey. Not the kind of thing you'd expect to get excited about. But right from the onset, I feel like I've got to disclaim it by saying I have a preference, shall we say, for red wine finished or red wine aged whiskies. And also this bottle was bought for me by my 2-year-old son. For my birthday last year, and he picked it off the shelf and he waddled through the supermarket all the way to the till, and so I've got kind of a fond memory around that. So I may be slightly biased, but this is the Jura red wine cask finish cask edition. This is part of their re-racking program where they've taken shall we say unexciting spirit, chucked it in various casks to make their Caribbean and their winter and their red wine cask edition. So it's an attempt to make something more interesting than their base distillate would otherwise give you from ex-bourbon, the way they choose to present it anyway. So like I touched on, it's a no age statement, it's 40%, it's not naturally coloured, it's not crazy bold, so hopefully there's not a crazy amount of colouring in it, who knows, and it's almost certainly chill filtered. I find that White & Mackay tend to chill filter things slightly worse than many other producers. It tends to drag out lots of the character, lots of the mouthfeel, lots of the oiliness that you would otherwise really like. Jura in particular has a decent mouthfeel when it's independently bottled or when it's natural from the cask. It's a fine whiskey. It's a shame that this gets done to it. But I do have this colour down as a shade 13 Old Madeira. So let's explore that nose. So the initial impression is a kind of weird one. It starts berries, cherry, strawberry, there's a sweetness, kind of a fondant sweetness, but all of that is over a faint tarmac. It's a peculiar off note, a coastal minerality, kind of a stony beach, some lemon curd, a touch floral, dry grass, a hint of oak. And when you really dig into it, there's kind of a clean astringency. It's quite subtle though, you're digging deep to get any bite onto the palate. So initially it's tangerine giving way to that coastal minerality. And again, it's a little bit odd. There's an off note, a touch cloying, kind of plasticine-y. Not quite linseed oil, more synthetic than that. The palate develops and gradually becomes more mellow and enjoyable. You get the red berries coming through, a background maritime tang, hint of the oak and the dry grass. But it's very, not quite thin, but easy. It's not got any fight or any depth to it, I don't feel. Now into the finish you get a gentle prickle developing, growing, but again it's quite a clean prickle, clean heat. There's that dry hay linked to the coastal oddity with a lingering bitterness, but there is on top of that a little pang of citrusy tangerine almost, again a hint of fruit, a hint of sweet, which adds to it, it makes it more enjoyable. So this whiskey started in American white oak, probably ex-bourbon, and then it was finished in red wine casks, probably treated red wine casks rather than old, mature, aged red wine casks. And every influence that I'm getting from the cask is on the red wine end of the spectrum. There is still a nice Jura character, nice Jura distillate showing through though, that coastal element, the minerality. It doesn't always mesh well with the red wine cask influence. Sometimes it creates cloying oddities. I've rated it at 70%. It's fine. It's just fine. I wouldn't really go out, recommend it or get excited about it, but that being said, it's probably the best official bottle in Jura that I've tried since the Druk Zone. It's decent, and for the amount of money that this cost, 25 quid I think it was, it's perfectly acceptable and I have enjoyed the bottle. So cheers for watching guys, hope you've enjoyed this little whiskey review. If you have, please do like, comment, subscribe, really helps the channel, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Cheers.